Tonight, my lecture will be on one of Krishna's incarnations. The last few days have been very, very auspicious. On Thursday, we had Ekadashi. That is always auspicious. Then on Friday, we had Vāmana-deva-avatāra, the appearance day of Lord Vāmana, who I'm going to speak on. Then yesterday was the disappearance of Namacharya Haridas Thakur. And today, of course, is the full moon. We start the new month. Those who are strict Gaudiya Vaishnavas, starting from today, they'll take no milk for 1 month. And you may have heard, today is also the full blood moon. Don't look at the moon. It's inauspicious. Yes. You might be tempted, but refrain. So there is one nice mantra which we sing glorifying Krishna's incarnation as Vāmana-deva. Chalayasi vikrame balim adbhuta Vāmana padanakanira janita jana pavana. Chalayasi vikramane balim adbhuta Vāmana padanakanira janita jana pavana. Keshavadrita Vāmana rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Keshavadrita trivikrama rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Keshavadrita urukram rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadish. Jai jagadish. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. That is perfect mridanga playing. Srila Prabhupada is so happy. I would like you all to clap for that excellent mridanga playing. May you live forever and always play for me. So, one of the core, essential teachings of the Krishna consciousness philosophy, Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam. God has unlimited incarnations or expansions or avatars. How many? As many as waves in the ocean. There's no end. They keep coming. But the fundamental principle of Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever the incarnation, the origin, the source is Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, the origin. Now, in this mantra that I just chanted, it is a prayer by the great Vaishnava poet Jayadeva Goswami, and he lists 10 specific incarnations. But for each one, the end of the verse, Keshava, he's also agreeing with the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam, that these are all Keshava or Krishna's incarnation. Keshava has 3 different meanings, but Keshava means Krishna. And this is called the Krishna consciousness movement. My godbrother said I should say something about Srila Prabhupada. So when this movement was incorporated in 1966, it was suggested, why don't you call it the International Society for God Consciousness? And Srila Prabhupada said, no. If we say International Society for God, then they will bring this God, they will bring that God. No. It must be International Society for Krishna Consciousness, because this name, Krishna, can you all say? Krishna. Is scientific. It is not dogmatic. It is the best name for God. From one angle of vision, God has no name. Who's going to give him a name? But from another angle of vision, he has so many names because he has unlimited qualities, and specifically his names, which are very nice, are the ones which mention his relationships with his devotees. Like we say, Yashodanandana, the mother of God. And there are so many names, Rukmini Dwarakadish, as we have in this temple. But Prabhupada said, but if you have to settle on one name, this name, what was that name? Very good. All attractive. Outside the principle of all attraction, then there's no meaning to the word Godhead or God. So God is that person who is all attractive. So Jayadeva Goswami has listed 10 incarnations of Keshava. Keshava, he has long, black, nice, very nice hair, very fine. Keshava, the one who killed the Keshi demon in Vrindavan. And then also Keshava, the one who controls Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Ooh, very interesting. He's the supreme controller, Keshava. So, Vāmana-deva, the particular avatar, he's mentioned in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto, in the fifth canto, and in the fifth canto, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining to Maharaj Parikshit, and he says, later on, I will give the full delineation of this Vāmana-avatāra. So that appears in the 8th canto. The 8th canto has 24 chapters. So from chapters 15 to 23 is all about Vāmana-avatāra. And there's great detail, which I started on Monday. I started to read as much as I could. I was even reading here today for several hours. So let's see how Krishna empowers me to say something about Lord Vāmana. But first, I need your blessings. So please raise your hands and bless me by chanting the Maha Mantra too loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'll drink to that. Thank you very much. This is only water, don't get excited. Jai. So this particular pastime, Leela, or dramatic performance, the word Leela means God comes down to earth from the kingdom of God, spiritual world, and performs activities that are impossible for anyone else to perform. Inconceivable. So that is called Leela. No matter what he does, whatever God does, it's enjoyment. It's a pleasure excursion. Whether he's embracing someone or killing someone, it's a pleasure excursion for him. So let's go back millions of years. Let's go back in time. And in the universe, we have the demons and the demigods. Like on earth, you have the Republicans and the Democrats. So on a larger scale, you have demons and demigods. Demons, they're opposed to God. Either they reject him, but they don't want to follow his order, his rule. They want to live independently. And the demigods, they are God's authorized agents, and they are obedient to the will of God. And these two, demons and devotees, demons and demigods, they're always clashing. They're always fighting. So, thousands and thousands of years ago, in the higher regions, the demigods defeated the demons very soundly. And many of the demons died. But then, this powerful Brahmana, Shukracharya, he brought the demons back to life. Oh, he would be very popular right now in the United States. But he's not going to come. But this Shukracharya, by his Brahminical and mystic powers, brought the demons and their leader, Bali, back to life. And then, because he had done that, Bali Maharaj, their leader, in order to show his appreciation, he started to worship Shukracharya as his guru, and therefore Bali and his followers, the Brahmanas, blessed them, and they became super powerful. So that's one lesson. And Prabhupada taught us this lesson, that if you want to become very powerful, you worship your spiritual master. Here in our movement, we worship Srila Prabhupada twice in the morning. The first prayer, Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam, Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. Then later in the morning, again, we worship our founder Acharya, our spiritual master. And by doing that, we become spiritually powerful. We become very, very potent. It's called Brahma Tejas. You get supernatural powers. So even though they're demons, because they have accepted Shukracharya as their guru, and they have agreed to do rituals, they have become super powerful. So, what do you think is on their mind? Retaliation. It's natural. Tit for tat. You strike me, I strike back. So, Bali and all of his millions of warriors approach Indra's capital city. In some texts, they say that Indra's planet is the planet Venus. I have read things like that. And so, Indra wakes up one morning, he looks out his courtyard, and he's surrounded by millions of demon warriors headed by Bali, and they look very powerful. And Shukadeva Goswami gives a nice description of the planet and the capital city of Indra. For instance, our roads are made of asphalt, but in the heavenly kingdom, the roads are made of diamonds, jewels, lapis lazuli. And it is described that the women of the heavenly planets, in the wintertime, their bodies are warm to touch. And in summer, their bodies are cool. And there are other descriptions of the trees and all the nice facilities. If you read that, you go, hey, I'd like to go there. Sounds nice. But as you see, Indra, the king of heaven, he wakes up one day and he's in anxiety. So just as the demons have their guru, Shukracharya, the demigods have their guru, Brihaspati. And I've been told that his planet is the planet Jupiter. Brihaspati tells Indra and the demigods, now is not the time for you to fight. You're not going to be as strong as the demons because they have got this Brahminical Brahma Tejas on their side. So if you fight them now, you're going to lose. So Brihaspati tells Indra, all of you demigods should take some kind of disguised form, which they can do. They can change. Like sometimes you hear this expression, shape-shifters. So the demigods can do that. They can change forms at will. So Brihaspati tells them, you should go in hiding. Later on, the time will be right for you to defeat the demons, not now. So the demigods leave their city, they leave their positions, and they go into hiding. Bali Maharaj now sits on the throne of Indra. Yes, now he's the ruler, because if you sit on Indra's throne, you're the king, king of heaven. So now the Brahmanas are telling Bali Maharaj, if you want to sit on this throne of Indra, you have to perform 100 horse sacrifices, just like Indra, and we will engage you in such, so that you will be fit to sit as king of heaven. Meanwhile, the mother of the demigods, Aditi, she is very, very upset. She does not like the fact that her sons have now gone and hiding themselves. And like a good mother, she's very concerned about her children. So her husband, Kashyapa, he is a great Prajapati. He had been away performing penances and was in samadhi for some time. When he came back to his ashram, he saw many signs which told him something is not right. He could see by the way the house was being kept, things were not right. Just like I have a favorite expression, happy wife means happy life. How many agree? Yes. That's another lecture for another time. So Kashyapa can tell something is wrong. So he approaches his wife and says, what's wrong? Have you committed some sin? Have you offended someone? And Aditi says, no. And she explains to Kashyapa what has happened. So she approaches her husband and says, you are a powerful rishi, sage, brahmana. You please find some way so that my sons, headed by Indra, can return to their proper position. And meanwhile, Kashyapa is thinking, because Kashyapa, he's detached from material life, family life, and so he marvels, just see how this world is going on by family affection. This whole world is bound by family affection. But nevertheless, Kashyap, a happy wife means happy life. So he has to do something to keep his wife happy. So he instructs her in a kind of vow or vrata, where she will drink only milk for 12 days. And also she will worship Lord Vishnu, the maintainer. And Kashyapa says, if you do this Payo Vrata, your desire will be fulfilled. And sure enough, at the end of the 12 days, because Aditi strictly followed the instructions of her Brahmana husband, Lord Vishnu appears to her. And he says, I am fully aware of your anxiety. After all, who is in our hearts? Krishna, Vishnu is in our hearts. He already knows what you're thinking, just as you were thinking. He knows everything. He's omniscient. You can't hide from God. Not possible. That concept is also there in the Bible. In the story of Cain and Abel, that same concept is there. God was aware of what Cain had done to his brother Abel. So Lord Vishnu says, because of your husband's austerities, I will agree to act on your behalf. I will appear as your son, and I will figure out some way to get your children back into position. But it has to be done very carefully, because Lord Vishnu has to also respect the blessings of the Brahmanas that are on the demons. He has to, so it's a bit of a challenge, you could say, for Lord Vishnu. He has to keep the blessings of the Brahmins. He can't interfere with that. But at the same time, he has to get that Indra and the demigods get back. So what does he say? I will appear as your son. So on that day, which was Friday, called Vijaya Dashami. And when Lord Vishnu appeared, he turned himself and changed his form to look like a dwarf Brahmana. And the demigods appeared at this time, and they gave him worship. They gave him different presentations. And Mother Earth gave the first blessings, the first alms to Vāmana. Meanwhile, Bali is in a holy place performing a sacrifice by the order of his guru, Shukracharya. So Vāmana-deva comes exactly at a time in the sacrifice when it is permissible to ask for charity. And Bali Maharaj, when he sees Vāmana, he is very, very attracted, because didn't I say Krishna's name means all attractive? All the incarnations of Krishna are attractive. So even though he's a dwarf Brahmana, Vāmana-deva is also very, very attractive. Now, something else comes into play. Although Bali Maharaj is the king of the demons, and he plays the part perfectly, inside, he's a devotee of the Lord. Why is he a devotee? Because his grandfather is Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj is the best example of a devotee. So Prahlad had given much blessings upon his grandson. All grandfathers are like that. I'm a grandfather. Anyone who's a grandfather, they super love their grandchildren. So Bali Maharaj, even though he's the king of the demons and expertly is their king, deep inside he's a devotee. So Vāmana-deva approaches Bali Maharaj and says, "My dear king, I am a Brahmana. I have come to beg some donation from you. You are the king of the universe. I want 3 steps of land." That's all. Meanwhile, Shukracharya, he can see what's going on. He is a very, very powerful mystic Brahman. He knows that this is Lord Vishnu in disguise, and he knows what Lord Vishnu is up to. So Shukracharya tells Bali Maharaj, no. But Bali Maharaj says, how can I break my promise? Nobody in my dynasty has ever broken their promise. Shukracharya knows that if he agrees to give the 3 steps to Vāmana-deva, Shukracharya is going to be out of a job. There'll be no more opulent king. He knows what's going to happen. He's going to lose his position. And Bali Maharaj says, no. Even if what you say is true, Gurudev, even if this is Vishnu, and he has come to take everything away, I don't care. Because nobody in my dynasty, there's never been that low-minded king who has ever reneged on a promise. Let him do whatever he wants, but I must keep my promise. And then Bali tells his guru, Mother Earth, you know what Mother Earth says? Mother Earth says, I can tolerate big mountains. I can tolerate everything, but Mother Earth says, I cannot tolerate a liar. Now you know why we have earthquakes. Because we have too many liars. We have too much lying politicians. Too much lying. That's why we have more global warming and all this stuff. It's real. And why is it real? Because of the sinful activities of the human population. They want to stop this global warming. Stop killing cows. First order of business. Stop illicit sex. Stop intoxication. Shut down Las Vegas. Then you can have some nice environment. But as long as the people are sinful, it's up to the people. Forget the politicians. They're a crooked, rotten bunch. But you, the people, we have to be devotees. We have to become sinless. That is our Hare Krishna movement. We are telling people, stop sinful life, chant Hare Krishna. Everybody, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So, Shukracharya tells his disciple, if you disobey me, I curse you and you will lose everything. And Bali Maharaj says, I don't care. All this time you have been engaging me in doing these different sacrificial performances and rituals. And when you do those, inevitably you have to worship Lord Vishnu. Even those people who know what I'm talking about, even they do some demigod worship, still In the beginning, they worship Lord Vishnu. Am I right? Yes. So Bali was saying, all this time, I have been worshiping Lord Vishnu. Now Lord Vishnu is right here in front of me, and you're telling me not to worship him? I reject you. And that's an important point. If your so-called guru, if your so-called spiritual leader or priest goes against the instructions of the scriptures, you can reject him. That's what makes a guru. That's what makes a spiritual teacher. He walks the walk and talks the talk. He is a representative of what you read in the books, like we had with Srila Prabhupada. Very rarely did you hear Srila Prabhupada say, I'm the guru, I'm this, I'm that, bow down to me. No. Prabhupada would simply preach on the basis of Bhagavad Gita, and then we would conclude, yes, the Gita says like this, Prabhupada is doing what he says, therefore we decided to give our lives to Srila Prabhupada. Wasn't some hocus pocus. We saw that Prabhupada taught us to live a pure life. He himself was leading that pure life, eating dal, rice, chapatis. Ooh, I better hurry up and finish. Sabji. And Prabhupada was telling us, give up these 4 sinful activities. We saw that Prabhupada was like that. And Prabhupada was telling us to chant 16 rounds Hare Krishna mantra. We saw he was doing that. He was doing he's Acharya, one who teaches by example. Therefore, we readily followed him. Because he was doing it, we naturally also did it. And willing to do anything he asked us to do. So, Vāmana-deva is standing there, and Bali Maharaj rejects his guru and decides, yes, but you know what? Bali, he tells Vāmana-deva, you're only asking 3 steps of land? I can give you an island. I can give you a planet. I can give you a beautiful wife. I can give you anything. I'm the king of the universe. And then Vāmana-deva says something very, very significant. Vāmana-deva says, yes, if I'm not satisfied with 3 steps of land, I won't be satisfied even if I have the whole universe. So unlike that stupid movie back in the 80s, Greed is Good, according to Bhagavad Gita, greed is one of the gates that leads to hell. Don't watch movies. Read Bhagavad Gita instead. Now you're thinking, but how does he know that? The point still remains. Greed is not good. And Vāmana-deva himself is saying that. I should be satisfied as a Brahmana with 3 steps of land. So Bali Maharaj rejects his guru, and yes, I will give Vāmana his 3 steps. Now the cheating comes in, because that prayer that I sang, chalayasi, so that word chalayasi means tricky, means cheating. So Vāmana-deva takes 1 step and covers everything below the earth. He takes his 2nd step and covers everything above the earth and cracks a hole in the universal covering. According to the Bhagavatam, there are millions of material universes, and each one is like a coconut with different coverings. And these material universes are flowing in the causal ocean. So when Vāmana-deva kicked the covering of the universe with his 2nd step, it cracked and some water leaked out and bathed his foot. And that water became known as the Ganges. And that's why the Ganges originally has a pinkish color, because the bottom of Vishnu's feet is reddish like a lotus. So the dust of his reddish feet mixed with that Ganga Jal, that causal ocean, So the Ganges, when it comes down, has a pinkish color. So now there's a problem for Bali, because with 2 steps, Vāmana-deva has covered everything up and down, the whole universe now. Remember, this was the only way that Vāmana-deva could have given the universe back to the demigods. Because Bali Maharaj rejected his guru, a Brahmana, his guru cursed him. So now he has been cursed. That means he loses his Brahma Tejas protection. And now, by his trickiness, he has covered the whole universe and eventually is going to give it back to Indra and the demigods. But now Vāmana-deva says, what about my 3rd step? You still owe me. And Bali Maharaj, remember what I said? Inside, what is he? He's a devotee like you. How many of you see yourselves as devotees? Yes. Raise that hand high. You should see yourself as a devotee. You can see yourself as a devotee of a devotee of a devotee as many times down as you like. Yes, even Prabhupada told us, we are not devotees of Krishna or Narayan. We're not that puffed up. We are devotees of a devotee. And we like to call ourselves devotees of this devotee. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. So Bali Maharaj, he gets this inspiration. My Lord, I still have my head. You can put your 3rd step on my head. And Lord Vāmana agrees. Now with this gesture, Bali Maharaj has fully surrendered to the Lord. In the process of bhakti, we have 9 items. The final item is called Atma Nivedanam. Everybody can say? That means complete, full surrender. Some of us, we have surrendered poquito. Some of us have surrendered this much. But only you can answer, yes, I have surrendered everything. Only you can answer. That's between you and God. But Bali Maharaj, who was the ruler of the whole universe, Vāmana-deva has taken it away. The only thing he has left is his head. He offers that to the Lord, full surrender. And Bali Maharaj is given as the example of that devotee who gives us the idea of full surrender. Now, Vāmana-deva wants to test Bali. There's a test. So Vāmana-deva says, Bali, I want you to go down to the low kingdom, the low planetary systems. And Bali's warriors, they don't like this. So they're getting ready to fight. And Bali tells them, no. Back off. Don't try to attack Lord Vishnu. After all, what did you just do with 2 steps? Huh? What do you think Bali was telling them, don't do anything. We should just accept the Lord's punishment that we have to go down to this low planet. Now, because Bali agreed, Vāmana-deva said, very good, I will become your doorkeeper. And I will protect you, Bali. And it happened. Because later, much time later, Ravana came to attack Bali Maharaj. But when Ravana came to Bali's planet, Vāmana-deva became the original soccer player. He kicked Ravana with his foot and kicked Ravana back to where he came from. So that's why I like to say Vāmana-deva is the original football player. He kicked him back to another region. So, after this, Indra, the demigods, they resume their positions. Mother Aditi is very happy. Indra is back. Everyone happy, happy, happy. We now can enjoy in heaven now. But Shukracharya is still there at the sacrificial site. Vāmana-deva goes to him and says, "So, my dear Brahmana, what was the mistake of your disciple?" By this time, Shukracharya got a little smart. And he said to Lord Vāmana, he said, "My Lord, when there is a sacrifice, there's bound to be mistakes, either in the procedures or the right time or in the different articles or the time, place, circumstance, or in the chanting of the hymns. There's bound to be some mistakes." But then Shukracharya said, "But," and this is a big but when your holy name is chanted, when the holy name of God is chanted, everything becomes faultless. This is why I'm a Hare Krishna devotee. Because if you simply chant God's holy name, not only do you become holy, not only do you become sanctified, you become faultless. In this lecture, I probably made 108 mistakes, but it doesn't matter. You know why? Because we're going to chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Everybody! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So don't forget, next Saturday, starting at 3 p.m., special Maha Harinam. And then next Sunday, actually, you could spend the whole day here, because it looks like they're going to have 1, 2, 3 feasts next Sunday. So next Sunday, nobody starves. So remember, you're going to now leave the temple and take prasadam. Don't look up. Okay? Look down. I don't want anything to happen to my children here. Are you all good? You're going to chant Hare Krishna? Class is dismissed.